In this episode, we fall short one more time, reuniting the front axle to the chassis. Hey, welcome back to the channel, or hey, if it's your first time, my name's Grant Tommy. This is my channel Straight Six Fan, where I like to specialize in creative, relatable, budget-minded projects, a little something I like to call offbeat hot rodding. Today we're back on the Rat Rod Radio Flyer, and we're trying so hard to get that front axle back onto the chassis. If you watched my live stream on Friday, I mentioned I thought I was going to have some time to work on Saturday on this thing. That ended up not being the case. It took me longer to stay in the pergola. But let me show you a couple things that we're battling right now with the go-kart. Okay, so I've got the chassis leveled out, and the way the axle hits the front, is a nice little juxtaposition. But I think because of that, I need to cut the frame some. So my previous thought was to boat tail it up to kind of let it chamfer and go up, but you saw how the tube steel sticks through the holes, and I think that's just going to be the wrong look. So I think the approach, actually, I'm going to dovetail it downward, and it's going to mimic more of that, rolled edge on a Model A frame. So we'll get to cutting and I'll show you how we end up with those results. Okay, now we have the frame ends all welded up, shaped, and ground down. But before now we start thinking about brackets, how we're going to mount this to that, I've got the sleeves on the spindles that I need to weld up still, so I want to do that first because it's going to be harder to do that if this is attached to that. So let's get that wrapped up real fast, and then I think we have nothing standing in our way then to start fabricating that connection point. Okay, the spacers are welded on the spindles, and I think I've got it set kind of right where I want. Again, this guy might get a little shorter, but I think my axle is going to want to float out in front of the frame some, again, just to make sure I have clearance here. Like, I will probably shorten these up, but it still looks like it's going to need to stay out proud of the axle. So, I'm going to build some arms. I go from here back to the top of the frame, but again, this is why I kind of rounded down the frame edges in the front, just to kind of make it emulate that Model A look. And then, like I said, this axle needed to come out further anyway, so those were never going to be long enough, and I think this is just going to look better. So let's get to cutting those brackets. Okay, so the brackets are cut. I've got everything squared up on the table. I'm going to tack weld these in place, and I'm probably going to call it a day. It's getting close to 4 o'clock. It's usually like the time I like to clean up. Last week I didn't start till 4, but yeah, I've got a lot of mess, and I got to get this video edited up for you guys. So, and it's sort of like it helps protect me against myself from just going too fast and making errors and stuff. So I'm going to tack weld these in place, and then next time I'm out, that way I can weld them fully. And then I'll show you the bracket design that I end up with after those suckers are fully welded, but that'll be next episode. So I'll get these tack welded in place, and I'll show you guys how that ended up, and then we'll close it down. Okay, so I got the brackets tacked in place. Actually, had enough sharp and tungstens that I got one side on each bracket welded fully. The insides are still tacked. So I was going to hard mount this and I was going to show you that in the next episode, but now I'm starting to get crazy ideas of maybe turning this into an actual suspended front axle, and so I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how ideas go in my head throughout the week, but my thought was actually just putting like a little bit of like round tube right in here, and then tapering this thing down to that, and then I'd have just a through rod all the way through, and then buying like a trailer leaf spring, and then just cutting it. And so I would probably put like the eyelet, if you would, for the leaf spring back here, and then it would arch this way, and then I would just hard weld it to the center of this. But I don't know if that'd be enough. Maybe it'd be better to do it, you know, one on each side, and so you'd sort of have a 4-link, because you'd have leaf springs from here to here, leaf spring here to here, and then you'd have these brackets to further back. I don't know. You know, the hard fixing it just to be a solid axle gets me closer to being done, but now I'm just kind of like, wait a second, maybe a suspension would be cool. I don't know, I'm crazy like that, I guess, but I suppose you'll just have to find out, tune in to the next episode to figure out which way I go. So, until next time, peace out.